All right, everybody. Welcome Gary Miceli back to the podcast.
Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me on again.
Yeah, I was checking. Now this is only your third time as a guest, but on
Yes.
IMDb, you still hold the third spot because you did voiceover, uh,
Did.
little interstitials, uh, for the podcast back in the day. So you're obviously behind me, and God, I hope it stays that way, or there's big problems.
Who's in front of me?
Isabella, my daughter, she's got like
Okay.
you're never gonna catch her. I mean, oh, that was
I
the
can
most
try.
awkward thing. You could try, but
I can try.
yeah, she's got a home field advantage. She
Yeah.
lives here. We almost
Yeah.
recorded a
Yeah.
podcast. The week I took off was supposed to be a podcast where I interviewed her about being on set at Thanksgiving again.
That's
Um,
right.
but we found out that she had been lying to her mother and myself, and she started an Instagram page, and so she got what's the word? Grounded. And I felt like recording a podcast with her wasn't, eh.
So, is there an age in your household to, at this age, you can have an Instagram account, and this age, you can't?
No, but my ex-wife and I talked about it, and I'm like, if you just didn't lie about it, like, and gonna let her start an Instagram account, but there's ways you can turn on where the parents get every message you get, they see everything so it's like they do a good job of allowing parental
Right.
oversight,
Right.
and no privacy for the child. And I'm like, I would have argued for, I mean, she's 15. Like when I was in middle school, I was on AOL Instant Messenger all the time, talking to random fucking people. I was having cyber sex with probably 50-year-old fat men jerking off to me, describing my penis.
That was you? That was me.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you see, in hindsight, I'm like, all of these chicks who are like, "Oh, I'm a 34 double D, blah 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 blah." I'm like, those were all just fat old men jerking off to basically I mean, I was probably 13 years old on there.
Maybe AI, like the first things of AI.
Yeah, I wonder if you could get AI to. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
You can get AI to do anything.
I did actually see something earlier when I was browsing the interwebs that the newest iteration of ChatGPT was the first to admit, say, I don't know to a question, because ChatGPT famously just bullshits you if it doesn't know the answer, it just makes shit up. Um, and it's funny because this is something we're going to talk about. It's funny. I don't do. I'm always so hesitant and so cautious when I approach this. I do not use AI to help me write scripts, but I do use AI to help me write scripts. Meaning, I will send like so when I'm at a point in a script, I will upload it ChatGPT and say, I know where it's going in my head, but I want to see if the AI picks it up. Or does this sequence does it work here? That kind of thing. And I usually ignore its advice, but there are times that it's like there was one scene, not scene. There was a sequence in an action comedy movie I wrote.
Batman.
Batman, yeah, Batman Forever, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, but it was uh, it's way too much to describe. But it's basically, here's the main plot. Everything's ramping up, but we have this tiny little side quest, which is important, but I don't want to kill the momentum. So I write that little side quest thing and then hop back, and I'm like, I'm worried about this taking all the momentum away from this. And it's like, well, take those 5 scenes you wrote and make them 2 scenes. And, a 2-minute side quest in the movie, that's not going to kill the momentum. It actually can ramp it up if you do it. So it's just little things like that. Like, okay, if I wanted to put some exposition in that scene, I need to just put it someplace else in the movie. So it occasionally helps. I don't, but anyway, the other thing is I uploaded one of my scripts and just said, "Give me a rate this thing honestly." And I'm reading it and I'm like, I don't remember that scene. And that's not what happened in this. I know that's not right. And it's all made up. They even made up characters. They're just
Wow,
it's
that's
like they
crazy.
yeah, so it's like don't trust it, but I would trust like a human being. I trust people more when you ask them a question, they're like, I don't know. Better than making shit up.
That's crazy. AI is getting so advanced every single day, every hour, every minute. It's just going and going and going and going. And now Grok 5 just came out, and that's supposed to be, don't quote me on this, but I read somewhere that if Elon Musk gave it the SAT, it would get near perfect scores on every subject. And that means it's never heard the question, has never seen the question before in its life. It just knows it.
I mean, it'll be weird when it's perfected. I'm using
Yeah.
quotation marks for the audio listeners, but they're very barely visible because my I'm holding my drink. Um, because part of me wonders how many like like well, one of my jobs I had working I worked for insurance companies for years, and you'd get a demand package from the attorney. And your job was to summarize every single page, summarize the injuries, the diagnosis, the what happened, all. And I look at that and I'm like, that used to take, I mean, I was the fastest. I was the quickest draw on the West or whatever the hell you call it. If there was an emergency and someone needs to go through 400 pages in a day, it went to me. Um, but AI could presumably do what I did in 6 hours in 2 seconds.
Yeah, literally. It's that fast. It will scan everything and write you bullet points and write you notes on everything.
I'm very curious now. I actually should talk to some of my old people because why in this day and age, if you get a demand packet, I would think you just throw it into ChatGPT,
Right?
ask it to cite page numbers and stuff so you can go back and make sure you didn't make shit up. But I'll tell you the other secret: the attorneys never knew shit about the case, so you always knew more than the attorney when you talk to them.
That would just save so much time.
It almost makes the occupation obsolete aside from the negotiation aspect of it, but that's not the time consuming part.
I mean, the
That's
time consuming
interesting.
part for you said what, 6 hours?
If it was a huge, phone book like demand, yeah, it could take pretty much almost a whole day.
What if somebody had two of those and each of those were 4 hours long? Then that means an 8 hour day. This thing could just look at it in 5 seconds and create something. It just saves so much time.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna reach out to somebody because they've got to. If they're not utilizing it, they're wasting money. And the good news is, even though all those people will lose their jobs, the good news is they all hate their jobs. And the other good news is, if all those people lose their jobs, the insurance prices should go down.
That's great news.
But even on the flip side of that is the attorney's office, they don't, the attorney doesn't do shit, but their paralegal has to put that all together. You would think you just go, boop, here you go, Chat
Yeah.
GPT, get me a demand packet.
I mean, it's only a matter of time till not just that industry, but every industry starts using it more and more and more and more. Because now
Yeah.
you can't avoid it. I just bought a new computer, and when I bought the new computer, the guy was showing me around different models, and he basically told me AI now, ChatGPT is built in every one of these computers. They have them already in there, which is crazy because I don't even have to buy it; just has it in my computer.
Yeah, it is interesting. I've not thought enough about it, but I do wonder what people are going to do to make a living. because there's going to be millions of people whose jobs will be obsolete that probably
That's
already
true.
are. Um, yeah, I don't have any answers. I'm just yeah, that's it's kind of an interesting thought. I like what can't AI do are, and some would argue this, but it's like entertainment, food. I mean,
Basketball.
sports. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobody wants to watch robots playing sports. I mean, although I do like battle bots, but there's a human
Yeah.
element to that. Um, but yeah, like work at a restaurant, bar, make movies, music. And again, AI can do that to an extent, but I'm never gonna. Well, I say that, but I would absolutely use some free AI music in my
Yeah, right.
movies. I
Or
wouldn't
free AI
listen to it
actors.
for like pleasure. No, I would never use AI actors either. Um, but I that's just too close to it, you know?
There's going to be a time where you just write in your computer, I want to watch this movie with LeBron James and um, Dean Martin starring in this movie. And in a few hours, it's just going to spit you out the entire movie.
Yeah, yeah, and that's scary because I don't know. I'm curious. The average person is so incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I would think most people would think, oh, of course, but I'm not going to watch those movies. There are people who make these things creatively. I don't want to watch a computer's story. I want to watch.
Because right now we can tell, like you and me can tell whether a video right now is AI or humans.
Hmm.
There's gonna be one point
Mm,
where you're not gonna be
yeah,
able to tell.
it's getting pretty close already.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to tell.
No, no, and that's what's scary. And then it's also like I, I mean, it baffles my head that you could literally, I bet you within 3 years, I could find some software and say, I want a sex video of me and Sydney Sweeney.
I mean, a lot of
Now
people want that
it's
right now.
obviously that is what is being demanded. Sydney Sweeney, you haven't seen her bottom bits, but I'm sure they could figure that out. But she's been naked in movies. I, you know, I, I,
AI will get that information and put it somewhere else,
yeah,
literally like a
yeah,
cut and paste.
yeah. And that's scary in a weird way of like, you could have a sex tape out that you were not a part of.
Right. Like, and the thing is, when will that come into fruition? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? Maybe it's something like that is now. I mean,
It's probably closer than you'd think. It's probably just not widely available. Because actually, I've seen, and not a sex tape, but I scrolling through Instagram, it's like, use this AI and we can make these two people make out. Upload a photo of you and a celebrity, I mean, it's just a thing. And you stop, and it's like, I don't know, some old dude making out with Zendaya or something, and it's like, what is that? And I stop and I'm like, this is AI. And I would not have guessed it.
I want one of Jeff Macolino and Betty White and Val Kilmer.
That already exists. It's on VHS in my closet.
Okay. VHS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a while back. I was a young buck.
Right. Trying to break into Hollywood.
I was just getting, I just turned 18 and just ran into Betty and Val at a party, and rest in peace, Betty and Val.
Yeah, that's right. They both passed away. Dick Van Dyke is still alive. He's 99 or something.
Wow. Yeah. And by the way, my sex tape with Sydney Sweeney will never go public. I protect it very carefully.
It's in the vault.
Yes, yeah, it's in the vault. My password is 1234. Don't tell anyone.
My password is password. Don't tell anyone.
Who would have guessed that?
Tell me about your movie. You just filmed your Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, yeah. Thanksgiving again. Um, it was an interesting month, man. I mean, yeah, it was. I just consumed. and it doesn't seem. I don't know. It almost doesn't seem real now that I'm kind of back into real life. But like the first several, so we shot it June 1st. I to 30th. We had the Airbnb. We actually only filmed, aside from a couple things before and after, from the 9th to the 24th. But we had a rehearsal before at the Airbnb. Me and the director of photography and the producer and associate producer were walking around the house, figuring out blocking, lighting, that kind of stuff. Um, but what's incredible is it took a whole month of my life, but I mean, that was only the shooting part. It's taken, I mean, I'm now in the editing part of it with Jeremiah, who was the director of photography. Um, that's a whole new thing to me. And then but the pre-planning part took up, the first 5 months of the year. Um, yeah, man, it's crazy. But hey, the funniest thing, so this was a very small cast and very limited locations because it's a Thanksgiving time loop movie and it's a family. And aside from one outsider from the family who only comes in on certain days, there's 10 of us. And my niece and nephew in the movie are my son and daughter in real life. Um, so obviously I see them quite frequently. But the other ones, it's like I feel like they are my family. Like it's just a weird like I'm like, oh, I miss this person. Like the lead actress I've talked to almost every day. I went over to her apartment last Sunday to help her do a self tape. She needed someone to read with her. So it's one of the lady who played my mom. We're if I wasn't editing, I'd be playing pickleball with her. So it's just like we became very, and that's how good movie sets are. You become very close, tight with people,
Yeah,
and now.
because as you know, people don't understand is when you're on a movie set, it's not an 8 hour day. It's a 12 plus hour day.
Hmm.
So you're spending all waking hours with these people day after day after day after day.
Yeah, yeah, you're eating all your meals with these people. Because even we did a great job scheduling, and I don't deserve credit for that. That goes to Rick and Sierra. But we did have a lot of days where it was, call time 9 a.m. and we were done by 6. But every day I said I'm still buying dinner for everyone, so we'd all still be there till 7 o'clock on those days. Um, but yeah, it's your whole day, and then even if you get out at 5 o'clock, you're going home and you're studying your lines for the next day. It's not like you're
Yeah.
living your normal life. Um, so yeah, you spend long hours with each other, and you're either going to like each other or hate each other. uh,
But no
but
matter what, you have to make it work.
you have to make it work. And yeah, it's funny in editing seeing these people that now I don't remember their characters. I remember I like because there was probably a full month between the end of filming and the start of editing, and I talked to every single one of them. So it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. She hated me. Like we did not like each other in the movie, but we like each other in real life. So I'm like, oh man. I also forgot how many times I got physically abused in this movie, and I don't think most of them were in the script.
Yeah, that's the great part is being that happening on set, especially when Sydney Sweeney is doing it to you.
Yeah, we didn't have Sydney Sweeney, but we had Samantha Savasco, so she's
If
not
you
quite
can
as
have
famous, but
if you can have any actor in your next movie, any actor, but they have to be deceased, who would it be? Any actor you want.
do I
And,
do
and I'm
I
talking any actor in their prime.
in their prime
Yeah,
alive?
yeah,
I think you asked me this before, and I think I said Marilyn Monroe.
yes.
Um, The only thing I'm debating of saying that's still the answer is because A, it's boring, but B, uh, I'm thinking of the character they could play, and it's like there's some good like Rodney
Nor
Dangerfield would be an interesting one, like
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. Hey, so, oh man, every time I see a video of him, I'm like, God damn, he died. He had years left. Like he had a decade at least of
At
comedy in
least,
him.
yeah, 10, 20 years.
That sucks. See, it's not like everyone was sad when Bob Saget died, but he wasn't a good comedian. I mean, you know,
Well, he loved you.
I know. I look. There's the thing that people always said when you hear comedians talk about Bob Saget, they're never like, "Oh, he was so funny." He was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Like everyone loved him, but it's like his stand up just wasn't that funny. He just played off the I'm not Danny Tanner and I'm going to be outrageous, and it's like we get it. You're not that clever.
I love Stephen Wright. I love his comedy.
Mm. Mm. Robin Williams is the answer to your question.
Yes, yes. He could play anything.
Well, so that one thing in the editing process, and unfortunately, because the way comedy is, the pacing of comedy, there's not a lot of this that it's a tough thing. Like a lot of times when I was in the scene and I was the director of the movie, I wasn't calling cut when the scene was over. We just started riffing and things just,
I
and
remember.
I got pissed that only two times in the movie do I interact with the Madeline Karstens who plays my younger sister. And neither of those times in the movie that you will see are in the script. We don't have lines with each other. We're just improvising. And we did one scene where there are no lines at all. I this won't spoil anything. Uh, Two women are trying to get things in and out of the refrigerator, and I separate them because I need to get ice because I'm an alcoholic and I need to make another drink. And it's very rude and blah blah. There are no lines in that scene. We shot that scene five times, probably, maybe six, and every single take is completely different because she and I just go off on different. You know, I say something first, she might say something first, but they're all different, and it's like, damn it, these are all funny. Why didn't I leave more room
That's
for
the
this?
great part. That's the great part of it, though. You're a director that you allow that to happen. Some directors are like, I just want the lines. That's it. But you're like, let's just make things happen. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, well, it was the way I approached it was, you know, if you do it exactly as it's on the page, as long as you're acting correctly, your face and everything, it'll play. But if you can make it funnier, I want to make
Yeah.
it funnier. It's a comedy. It's, you know, so that was kind of the thing. And every time the only problem is, see, we get five, six of those. They're all funny, and you can only put one in the movie. You can't put all of them. So it's like that's the only thing where me and her I mean me and the lead actress Sam, we actually created four scenes that are not in the script. There's no lines in any of them, but we just were like, you know, it'd be funny. It's like, yeah, so let's talk to. I talked to the producer and the director of photography. They're like, oh yeah, that would be funny. I think we can use that. And as of now, they're all four in the script. Um, so it is funny to see, but yes, that was definitely. I told everyone. I mean, filmmaking in general is a collaboration of
Yeah.
everyone. But a comedy with the actors, it is a collaboration of there can be a script. You also need to make it funny as an actor, but by not just by acting out what's in the script, but maybe by adding, maybe by trying something different and
Yeah.
seeing, and Michael Girgenti played my younger brother in the movie,
That's right. That's right. He did.
and he he did. There were several scenes where he did. I mean, he did every take different, and they're all funny. So again, it's one of those things in editing. It's like, I guess let's go with the one that looks the best because
Yeah.
they're all funny. So the one that didn't get the boom in the corner of the shot.
Right.
um, but yeah,
When do you think is an approximate release date for the film? And where is it going to be released?
well, so the problem with this, with The Last Ride and with Thanksgiving again, they're both the Last Ride is basically done. It'll be being so herein lies the problem. It will be submitted to film festivals, but September 1st. Like there's deadline like the Last Ride. Thanksgiving again will depend on how close to certain deadlines we get with film festivals. Um, like if it's like we're gonna miss them all, let's just try to go direct to streaming. Because the problem is some of these film festivals have a no release clause. So if they're on streaming, you cannot submit them to the film festival. So therein lies the problem. If the choice is throw it on Amazon Prime or get into Sundance, well, I'm choosing Sundance. That's the
Yeah.
smarter decision. And that means people won't see it for another year because it'll be released
Yeah.
probably September of 2026 as a Thanksgiving movie.
I mean, it's
Um,
fine. You would want the right people to see it, and you would want to release it not during Halloween. You want to release it during season.
right. It's a tough balance. I mean, in general, if it's just like I'm just going to throw it on YouTube or Amazon Prime, which is anyone could throw something up there. I don't know how, but you can have people buy or rent it on Prime. Um, it will be done before Thanksgiving this year. Like the movie will be done, but that might not be the best strategic option where I can actually make my money back on what I spent on it. And same with The Last Ride. That movie especially is a film festival type movie. Like it's drama. It's not much comedy in it. Um the director actually sent me a nice text a couple days ago saying how he's like this is the millionth time I watched this and I've got to say Jeff, you did a great job because I was the lead in that one.
That's
He's like
great.
I hope you get cast in some more dramatic roles and I'm like some I like comedy so much more.
I thought you were going to say he wrote me a really nice text. He wrote "Go to hell," and I wrote thanks. You too.
That's actually this is a good question because I've had this discussion with him with Chris, the guy who directed that movie.
About hell.
Well, kind of, but the he was asking at one of our I think this was after we were done shooting party, and Sean Grant, who's in the movie, in both of those movies, was there, and Sam, the lead actress of Thanksgiving Again, was there, and Chris was there, and I was obviously there, and he asked all of us like, what would be your ideal role as an actor? Like, what would you want to do if someone said you could play one character, one thing, whatever? So I'd like to hear your answer. I'll tell you mine if you need a second to
Okay.
think. And this is how it relates to hell. I would like to play the devil more than anything. And I don't even know which, like, it could be evil, it could be kind of humorous, it could be like, I'll do whatever tone you want me to take with it. I would love to play Satan. I don't know why. It just feels like it would be so much
So much fun.
fun.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to like the Little Nicky movie kind of
Well,
way where
yeah.
it's just comedy.
Or I think it would be fun to do it the Al Pacino way and Devil's Advocate and just be really evil. Like, I mean, I think I'd have fun either way. Like, if I had a second answer, it'd probably be the Joker. I'm way too big, and I'm losing weight. But I still think I'm too tall to play the Joker.
You
Joker's
know
cool.
who was up for not the Joker, but who was up for the Riddler? Robin Williams.
Mm.
I don't know if he was offered the part, but I know he was in talks to
I think
playing.
he was, and then they went to Jim Carrey after him,
Yeah.
which
What
those
what
two are pretty similar.
What movie was that again?
That was that
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever? Yeah. I always have to think which Batman, which villain in Mr. Freeze was in Batman and Robin.
Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. So
Oh,
what's your answer to that, Roll?
oh
And it doesn't
my
need to be
God.
it doesn't need to be as specific as what I gave because the other, it
I
could
would
be like I
love
want to play a cowboy in a western,
in well, at any time I want to play Superman in something. In any radio drama and live act, no matter I want to play Superman. But other than that, I think I would love to age like 50 years and play Atticus Finch
Mm.
from To Kill a Mockingbird. If you haven't seen that movie, to anyone who's listening, that movie is one of the greatest movies ever. The character development in that movie is just extraordinary, and Gregory Peck is just
He
amazing.
he won an Oscar, didn't he, for that?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Yeah, I'm like I know he's won an Oscar, but I think he won it for that. Yeah, no, that's a good answer. You don't want you want to play that in 50 years, not today.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I can grow a beard.
yeah. I want to age 50 years overnight.
Yep, easy. Just smoke and drink, and tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be good.
Hey man, I've defied. I've been going on so many rants about this. I don't know how many times I end up posting on Instagram, but I've been going on rants in real life about it too. Of Like I've dropped 30 pounds since May, and I would say, without sounding too much like a douchebag, I would say it looks in the mirror like more than 30 pounds because I've not just been dieting, I've been just lifting, I've been walking, doing other activity. And uh what pisses me off, there's a fly here, by the way.
God,
What pisses me off is that everyone I talk to, and it was like, I want to lose weight, but I'm not ready to not drink for extended periods of time. God damn it. This YouTube video is going to be crazy because this damn fly. Um, and everyone's like, well, just once you're ready, you can do it, but you can never lose weight drinking the way you drink. Wrong.
and you have proven them wrong.
Yeah, and again, it may just I have said this like I don't nobody should take my advice and be like, "Oh, I can be drink a liter and a half of whiskey every day and lose weight because Jeff did." I might just be a freak. But it's like, no, and the other thing, so some people in my family, namely my daughter and my mother, are like, "You're starving yourself. You're not eating enough." And it's like I have more energy and I'm doing more activity than I've done in years.
Yeah,
Like I was a regular napper for, I haven't taken a nap since May. Like because I don't need to. My energy is through the roof all the time and I'm not doing cocaine, not every day. Uh
right. You might be just one of those rare people that alcohol just has no effect on you.
I mean, I think I do think if I stopped drinking completely,
You would
I'd
die.
probably I'd probably kill myself. Yeah. But no, I would probably lose weight faster. But I don't know if that's part of what's helping give me energy, or if it is literally my body is using all of the excess fat as energy because it's in starvation mode. But it's not. I don't know that it is in starvation mode because empty calories or not, this is calories. This is,
Yeah,
uh, I think, 96 calories an ounce or something. And I drink a lot of ounces. So I don't know, but it pisses me off because it's like if you had told me you just have to walk 4 miles a day and play basketball, football, pickleball, lift weights, do push-ups, plank, and eat a lot less, you can lose weight. Now, I don't know that I would have been motivated. I have something about filming the movie, I think actually pushed me, like motivated me. and I'm gonna go weird and deep here. Uh, so in the movie, I'm amongst friends. I'm relatively one of the things they know about me is I love a matching shirt and short combo. Like it looks like a onesie. It's not a onesie, but like it's matching patterns on the top and the bottom. And my friends hate it because everyone loves it, but not if you're hanging out with me because they don't like the attention it draws. Because my friends don't like me to have anyone pay attention to me, apparently. Uh, that's a whole other ball of wax. But so for this movie, I'm like, I want to get two of those for my character. So I have the ones I already owned. I couldn't get a duplicate of on Amazon, so I just was like, I just have to pick out a new one. So I pick one out, my normal size, and it gets here, and it is at least one, if not two sizes too small. And then I have a choice because it's like I might not get the outfit back before we start filming if I return these and get another one. Uh, and I look at myself in the mirror, and the clothes are like it's a button down shirt, and the buttons are like pulling open because I'm so fat. And I'm like, damn it, it's kind of funny. Like I hate that it's me, but it makes the character just a little bit funnier that he is fat and gross. Like his character is fat and gross. So it's like I just need to stick with this thing. So maybe part of it was seeing my disgusting self on camera every day, watching the dailies and being like, "Oh God, that's me." Um, that may have been part of the motivation, but I think I remember hearing Robert Rodriguez on Rogan, and that was a monumental episode for me actually because I then watched his thing where he tried to basically recreate making mariachi like a movie under $7,000. It's on Tubi. It's a tremendous. It's like 4 episodes. It's a tremendous show for any filmmaker. If you haven't seen it, Gary, you should watch
Yeah.
it. And I took tips from that, and we've used that in editing and in filming of Thanksgiving again. But one thing he said to Rogan, he was talking about how he was fat and out of shape, and he like he was in physical pain because how out of shape he was when he was directing a movie that he just afterwards got in his head like he just said, I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete. So he started training like I'm an athlete. And now he's in great shape and so I think some of that kind of entered in like that's got to be my mindset and also when you're I'll say this too. Also when the cast and crew of the movie there were some attractive females around. And I was self-conscious because of how disgusting I looked in wardrobe that I feel like at all the meals I was like don't be the fat guy off camera. Like it's one thing when we're filming if I'm shoving food in my mouth. Uh when we're off camera, do not be the fat guy. So it wasn't that I was like, "Oh, I'm starving." It was like just eat a little bit. Don't gorge yourself. Don't eat until you're about to throw up. Um and that little change, like I wasn't hungry. Like I want to make that clear. That little change, though, I think just your stomach shrinks when you feed it less. Um, Yesterday, I almost threw up at my daughter's swim meet because I overate at dinner. And we did breakfast for dinner, but the food I ate it was under 900 calories, and I generally only have one meal a day. It was under 900 calories, which if you're eating one meal a day, that's not close to your and I could not finish my plate and I literally had food come up into my mouth like I was throwing up because it couldn't fit. So
Did you
that
think of me while
worked.
you were doing that?
Exclusively, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think your listeners should know that I auditioned to play the turkey in the Thanksgiving movie, and you did not cast me.
Yeah. It was a tough decision. But the Turkey Alliance got in
Yeah.
contact with me and they said if you cast a non-turkey in this role, you were clearly a speciesist,
Yep.
and I caved to the pressure.
The TGA, the Turkeys Guild of America.
Yeah, yeah, they were down my throat, man. So I had no choice. I also had the funny thing with this movie, the two things that were so dumb, and I feel like you'll find this humor, is I'm directing a movie for the first time, and it's a time loop movie. Now that by itself makes everything harder. Like, and now it also gives you the excuse to an extent, and this will be my excuse for any continuity errors in the movie, of once one thing's different, a butterfly effect, like butterfly flaps its wings, everything could be different. So it does give me an out to an extent, but the it's complicated to be like, okay, what timeline is this now that I'm on? Where exactly are we? Because obviously, hopefully the listener knows movies are not shot sequentially, scene by scene. They are shot scattershot. Um, the other thing that was incredibly stressful and obnoxious was it's a Thanksgiving movie involving Thanksgiving dinner. So guess what? Me and my producer Rick had to do a lot of cook food. Like, and it was, we literally had to have a Thanksgiving dinner on the table. And there are certain things that didn't make the table that were supposed to, and some of that's just because we also had a small crew, low budget. So it's like we didn't have someone being like, "Hey, we got sweet potatoes. Why did these never get into the movie?" They didn't. Uh,
How many turkeys did you go through?
just one. And this goes to Rick and Sierra. The schedule. Now we also had to have an entire meeting and do an entire. I did the scene by scene breakdown of what food is needed for each scene, and then that had to correlate with the schedule. What we need a raw turkey for this. We need a cooked turkey for this. We need it. So the turkey we did on Tuesday. Mary, who played my mom, she is also a chef. She said, wrap it in something, whatever size. She said what it was, not just something, but and freeze it. And then a week later, when we're shooting the rest of the scenes at the table, you can cook it in the oven for a little bit, and it'll look the same. Um, so no one except for me, when we were done filming scenes at the table, I ripped a leg off the turkey and ate it, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever put in my mouth. And I've put some disgusting things in my mouth.
So, how did you keep the consistency between the scenes the same? Because once you shoot one thing on one day, you're like, well, he's got to walk that way every single day now. Every time we do that, he's got to walk that way. He's got to look over there, and that
Um,
must have been so hard.
yes, but I gave a little excuse, which I mentioned. If only one character can change the normal aspect of the day, and that's the character in the time loop. So the second she does anything different, it can alter what everyone else does.
Right.
So when you get around that, it's like, okay, you still need to walk, like when you're walking through the door, you need to be in the same order because she couldn't have affected you. Um, what hand you're carrying the thing, and this was a thing I just had to talk to the actors about. Like, if your mug's in your right hand, better be in the right hand every time. Like that's. But after that initial burst, after that morning thing, they're all in the same house. So anything different she does, you know, excuses any of the other stuff. If she tells someone, if she says a word to somebody that she didn't say the day before, maybe they do something differently that day. So that's how I viewed it. Um,
Is it a time loop movie or a multiverse movie?
well, there's a whole like quantum physics discussion we could go in that it could be either one. I suppose all time loop movies are kind of multiverse movies, but it is a time loop movie. It's very much just uh, it's not the premise is stolen from Groundhog Day. The movie is not like Groundhog Day. It's a different, you know, it's not like, oh, it's a sequel, you know. Bill Murray did not return my calls. I was, you
Did
know,
Ned Ryerson return your calls?
I actually emailed his agent. He didn't return my email. I had a cameo role written. I would have paid him like $15,000 to for 1 day of work.
He is such a great actor in that movie.
He's a
He's
great
so
actor and
funny.
everything. Stephen Tobolowsky is awesome.
Yeah.
But and I actually thought there was a good chance if you threw enough money at him that he would come, but
Oh yeah.
his agent dropped the ball. If this is a big movie, I mean,
Did his agent email you back?
nope.
Maybe it just was lost. It was never seen.
I think the problem was there it was twofold with getting some of the bigger name people that I went after. One is first time director is a red flag. The other is it's like, oh, it's my second movie I've executive produced. The other one's not out. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not like there's no it's like, okay, this guy starts things, but we don't know what he's doing. I had a prominent New York comedian who he actually emailed, he's pissed at his manager. He emailed me after we had recast the part that we had offered to him. And he's like, I really want to do this, but my manager hasn't said anything. I just wanted to see whether this fell through. And I'm like, it did. Your manager stopped responding. I sent him a message saying, like, I sent you the offer. I need a yes or a no, or I'm moving on. And he never responded. So I'm like, well, that you got to talk to your manager then. But because I would have loved to have you, but I mean, the person who replaced him was fantastic, of course. Um, but yeah, no,
Vin Diesel.
his twin brother.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, Quinn Diesel. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course. If you can remake Jaws, who would you cast in that movie?
I saw that movie one time when I was like 16 years old and I hated it. So I don't remember anything, but I would probably cast you as the shark.
Yes.
That would probably be the thing. But yeah, I don't remember any character names from that movie. I know the one guy with glasses.
Quinn, I think. I think that's his name. I don't know. You can cast Danny DeVito in a really bad shark costume.
That was a funny. I'm trying now. Who did I have this conversation with? I think it was Sam, the lead actress, talking about Danny DeVito came up because I was talking about I got offered. I didn't get offered. Someone asked if I would audition for a movie, and it's a non-union movie in Florida, and they're like, you have to play a gay guy, and I'm like, okay, what does that entail? Like acting
Right.
gay, or do I have what? They're like, well, you have to kiss a guy, and I'm like, what's the pay? fifty
Yep.
dollars. I'm like, nope, no, thank you. I'm not auditioning for the $50, and I don't even. I'm like, look, if I think my line is like, if I'm offered $5 million and I get to kiss Brad Pitt, I would
Yeah.
take that money because of two things. One is $5 million goes a long way.
Yeah.
And the other is it would be like someone's like, "Oh, you kissed the dude." I'd be like, "It was Brad Pitt. Shut the fuck up."
Brad Pitt's one of the most attractive men in Hollywood for a long time.
Right, right. Yeah, it's like
And plus, that's bragging rights. Think how many people are going to
it's
be jealous
bragging
of you.
rights. And then my response was like, "But you want me to take $50 to make out with Danny DeVito?" And I'm like, "Actually, I mean, if it were Danny DeVito, that's a tough one."
$100, Shia LaBeouf, right now.
No, fuck no.
No, okay.
No, 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 no. Danny DeVito, if it's in a movie, I'd be like, the $100 sucks, but if Danny DeVito's in it, it's going to be hilarious and
And it could jumpstart your
it's going to
career.
jumpstart the career. It's going to be worth $5 million.
Yeah, that's the thing. You always have to weigh the pros and cons. If it's a movie where they expect you to do something ridiculous, but it's like a standout thing, and it's really, really big names, that can really propel you in such an amazing way. It could put you on the map, and it could put you on the front page of everything the next day.
Yeah, it is a tough
It's a balancing act,
yeah.
risk and reward.
Yeah. No, I just well, I want to touch on this with you because you've been winning awards with your screenplay
Yeah.
or shorts. What tell me about it.
So I wrote two shorts, fully finished. Um, I won awards for one. I didn't put the other one in festivals yet, but then I wrote a feature, and I just won four different awards for the feature. And since I can't sit still, I'm halfway done with the next one.
Nice. Do you know I don't know if I told you this. Do you know I wrote two features in 11 days after from July 1st to July 10th.
No,
I wrote two. I should if you want to read them, I'll send them to you.
for sure. Yeah.
Because I know you've already seen Spaghetti Face. So now I'm sitting on three features,
Yes. I love
and
spaghetti face.
I co-wrote a pilot and with Daniel, the past life regressionist, who you met on the Zoom
Yep.
call of Spaghetti Face. I co-wrote a pilot with him, and that we just got an email yesterday that we've advanced to the quarterfinals in whatever. I've never entered into any of these competitions, so I don't. Daniel's like, "Oh, I enter in this all the time," and I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'll send you half the money if you want to submit it." Big Break, I think it's called or something, but it's we're in the quarterfinals, so I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means.
I would love to see a movie that's a genuine reflection of how Hollywood was in the 50s with all the scandals, all the casting couch. Just, I want to see a genuine movie depict that. And no movie really has. They always gloss over it.
Yeah, I think it's because it doesn't want to. There's still too many of those old people alive.
Yeah.
That's what I actually heard. Someone trying to remember who. I think it was on Rogan talking about like they still have not released all the JFK files because there's one person in there who's still alive, and they're
Yeah.
waiting till that person dies, and it's
It's
like
JFK.
no,
Yeah.
it wouldn't. He died for sure. Uh, but it's I think that's probably the same kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that guy's still kicking, and he'll be so pissed, and he's probably somehow so still powerful at 97 years old, which is fucking bullshit. Like if I don't know. I think I hate transparency and like don't expose the underbelly because I'm such a like oversharer. So I think I it just really gets under my skin when it's like not releasing the Epstein list. We all know there's an Epstein list, and we all know there's people on that list that we know, not
No, the
personally.
Epstein list is going to be released one day, and it's going to be a list of all people that have died already.
Yeah, I think
Like
that's
Bozo the
honestly
Clown or
what's going to
something.
happen. 50
Yeah.
years from now, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, we all knew Bill Clinton and Bill Gates were pedophiles, but waited till they all died to release it.
Yeah.
So we couldn't tar and feather them when they were still alive. Like, you just let them get away with it.
Tar and feather them.
Tar and feather. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have no, yeah. Ugh. Now, somebody did say this is gonna get me kicked off of YouTube. Somebody did say to me, they're like, "What if?" Because the whole rumor is it was some sort of like blackmail operation. They brought him there. There's hot chicks walking around that look like they're of age, but young, but of age. They have sex with them. They film them, and then they say, "You just had sex with a 16-year-old. You're a pedophile now." I thought she was 20. Well, now you have to do everything we say.
Well, because it's crazy. Because if you look at the difference between even yourself, if you look at pictures between when you turn 16 and 18, there's really not much of a difference.
Right, right. Yeah, no. And with makeup and plastic surgery, I mean, he was
Yeah,
human trafficking these kids, so he could
yeah.
easily get them
Yeah.
things done that will make them look older. But I'm like, well, if that's the case, they should have just been like, this is what happened. This is the God's honest truth. I was deceived. It's terrible what happened. You know,
I'm sure a lot of rich people were deceived, and then
I
backed
can buy
them.
that,
He
and I can
probably backed
say,
some of them into a corner and said, "Look, we have these files now, and you have to do what we say."
yeah, but then still give it, just own up to it and be like, this is what happened. Like, I fucked a
Well, I
chick who
mean,
looked like she was 25 years old, and apparently she wasn't. And they all lied to me. No one said she was, uh, yeah, I don't,
I
I guess I'm not, luckily, I'm not trying to dip my pen in things that look like they could be 18. I'm more of like 25 and up range.
yeah.
So, and you could argue that there are probably some 17-year-olds who look like they're 25. I don't know. I'm not saying but I'm sure. And there are some 25-year-olds who look like they're 16. I mean, I definitely know that's the case because I've been like, are you even legal? I said this to a chick at a bar once who was kind of being flirty with me. And I'm like, are you even legally allowed to drink? And she pulls out her ID. She's 28. And I'm like, I could have sworn you were in high school. And
Some
obviously,
people.
I don't want to have sex with that woman, no matter what the age on her ID says, because she looks like she's in high school.
Well, if you look on TikTok and social media, all these women look like they stopped. All these women look like they're 21 years old for like 20 years, and they look the same for a large stretch of their life.
Makeup is
And filters.
the hell of a thing, and well, and filters, of course. Yeah, you can't pull the filters off in real life though. Not yet.
Not yet, not yet.
Oh God, that's probably something too, where you can people have tech in their eyeballs that you can deceive with filters.
That's an interesting idea. That's what's next.
Probably. I mean, I've actually assumed something involving the eyes so that you don't have to look at your phone. Your messages just pop up in your field of vision. Just,
Well, Google Glasses does that, doesn't it?
oh, is that the glasses that the Chris's have been doing
I think
commercials
so.
for?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess that's probably what it is. I mean, I've also always thought before that, I guess I hope they do the car windshield where the car drives itself, which cars should all drive themselves, by the way, by now. Technology's there, safer than humans driving. Anyone who says, "Nah, I'm better than the computer" is full of shit. Nobody is better than the computer.
Well, I know in some places when you order an Uber, it says driver or driverless.
I've never, well, I haven't traveled much recently,
I think
but
it's
I've
San
never,
Francisco, it says that.
well, I'd be happy to. So to me, I would like a world where you don't have to own a car. There's just cars that go around and you order it like an Uber and just like the company maintains that car. Nobody drives that car. I just get in the back seat and it takes me where I'm going. I mean that to me is where the future should be as far as transportation. It would you know, I'm not a I well, I don't want to get into climate change type stuff, but if you're concerned about climate change, that should be your dream
Yeah.
because,
All of
uh,
our cars running on milk.
well, no, I think they want to make cows extinct, the psychopaths. Yeah, don't get me started. There's a, but the people who are obsessed with climate change want to worry about, Sydney Sweeney having great genes. They don't really care so much about actually saving the planet. They care about white people.
I like her jeans.
Well, you know what I thought would have been funny is if they did that commercial with Sydney Sweeney and then like let the fake outrage because it was all media bullshit. There's like 7 people in the world who were actually outraged about it, and then they did it like a week later with like Zendaya, and it's like they
But
both
it's
have
okay with her.
they both have great genes. They're like two freakishly beautiful human beings.
Yeah,
Like they both have great genes.
they do.
I don't know about the jeans they're wearing, but literally their jeans are great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it would have been funny if just nobody said anything. Just yeah. Bring up the volume. Oh yeah, we also filmed this one with a black person. So fuck you. I
My
hate
question for you, I've always wanted to ask you this. Who would you not have on your show?
a non-English speaker
Well, besides that,
or Helen Keller. I gave you that answer before.
if I called Mark David Chapman, can he come on your show?
I don't even know who is
You
that.
shot John Lennon.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive, yeah.
Yeah, he could come on.
He was doing 25 years, but I think it's been more than 25 years. But my theory is they're just keeping him in prison so that people don't go crazy and kill him.
I had a PR person email me today and they like sent me 16 bios and like if you'd have any of these people on, I'm like, I'll have all of them on. And I only read like 3 of the bios because I'm like if you want to come on and try to spread like communist or fascist ideals,
Then come on
I
down.
I would shut that shit down real quick. But so I'll say so I've had Flat Earth Dave on the podcast twice. And he doesn't let you guide. He has his talking points. If you listen to him, every podcast is exactly the same. No matter what you ask him, he will lead it down that road. So if it was like a fascist or a communist with his, like, I'm only going one way, I don't care what you say, then I'd just be like, all right, this episode's fucked. Bye.
No, I've
I
been
would
wrong,
still invite him on, but I probably would just at 5 minutes in be like, all right, we're done here.
but he has great genes.
No, I don't think he does.
No, no, he doesn't.
No, not particularly.
I don't know everything, but I don't think the Earth is flat.
Yeah, it's I love conspiracies, but that's one that's like, yeah, you're just wrong.
It
You're
doesn't make
wrong. It
sense.
doesn't make sense. It's a fantasy world. And so I got in not I don't want to say I got into it because I never have really I've tried to consider the possibility. But what I was more wanting to talk to flat earthers about, or the reason for it, and I've had two on twice, Flat Earth Dave, and then another guy who I had on twice, who is a flat earther, who it came up in conversation, but it wasn't like the reason he was on. And I like the mindset of the what makes your brain think this is possible. Like that's where I really wanted to go. And a lot of them, like I do believe that what he said, and I preface this by saying it's not as harsh as it sounds, but I do actually I've bought into things like dinosaurs aren't real. Um, Now, there were some creatures that existed, but the way that they built these dinosaurs, they get like one bone and they're like, this is a brontosaurus. And it's like, you got one bone and you built this entire gigantic thing. So something existed. But none of the dinosaurs that we look at existed. They're all cartoon characters that somebody invented with one bone, maybe two. Um, so there's that aspect of things. Where I'm primed to believe that they're lying to us, but I need to know, why are they lying to us? Why are we being lied to? Like the JFK thing. From a young age, I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. That's not what happened. Like the whole Jack Ruby thing afterwards, I'm like, oh, something was messed up with this whole thing. There was no way this guy was acting alone. Um, and and now it's clear that it, you know, what the truth's finally come out. But there was reason to lie because it was probably the CIA FBI combination that killed him. And they didn't want us to know that because we're supposed to worship them for keeping us safe. But so I want to get in the brain and be like, what is the reason that they would lie about the shape of the earth?
Right,
Never have gotten a good answer. It's like they just don't want us to know. And it's like, but why? What control
right.
do they have over us? By and they can't give a coherent answer to that question. And they can't they are, the way that we, not we, but society refer, like flat earthers are like another word for retarded person. They talk about us. We're globies or rounders or whatever they call us. Again, they like use a slur for people who believe the earth is a globe, and it's like, you fucking pretentious bitches, just shut the fuck up.
Do you really believe that the people you talk to really believe that the Earth is round? Or do you think they're saying it just to say it?
I think Flat Earth Dave's an interesting one. John Kerwin is the other guy I talked to. He definitely believes the earth is flat because we never really dove into that. He just brings it in like when he's listing off the conspiracies, like they don't want us to know this, that, the other, and God is real and the earth is flat and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa, you just threw the earth is flat in there, huh? So, but the Flat Earth Dave's an interesting one because his name is Flat Earth Dave, or his name's David Weiss, but Flat Earth Dave is what he goes by. So there's a little bit of a branding thing of, he makes money. And then he did the thing. I love this. I actually would love to make this is actually a good idea for a character in a movie or a TV show, I feel like. So when he was on my show, he's like, now people are going to say that I'm a grifter but I sell this on my website, blah, 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 blah. Salt pills that make you immune to the Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. He's fucking crazy. But so I talked to my daughter on a podcast about this. Uh, I'm like, just saying, so people are going to accuse me of being a grifter, and then you're a grifter. That doesn't mean you're not a grifter because you acknowledged you're like, people are going to accuse me of being a drunk because I'm about to pour myself a big drink and get loaded. uh, that doesn't mean you're not a drunk. That just means like people try to like give themselves permission. You know what I'm saying? Like, I people are going to accuse me of being a grifter. Now I'm going to be a grifter, but you can't say I'm a grifter because I already called myself out for it. People are going to say I'm a liar, but now I'm going to lie to your face because, well, obviously I'm not a liar because I already said I wasn't a liar.
If you go to these flat earther conventions, I don't believe even half of them think it's real. I just think they're all there just for the fun of it.
There's probably a communal aspect to it.
Yeah.
And again, I like where I hate people more. I hate these people more than flat earthers, people who think nothing is a conspiracy. Everything is as what you're taught in grade school. Like there are people who would still be like, no, Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone and shot JFK. There are still people like there. I was doing a show with a guy, and and I remember bringing up Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yeah.
Now, to refresh people's memory, Hunter Biden's laptop was part of the 2020 election, and the Joe Biden got 50 former FBI big shots to say it was Russian collusion. And like the day after the election, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no, we were lying. We were just trying Hunter's laptop. That was all real." And then 3 years later, I'm talking to this guy, and I bring up, and it was a joke. I'm not trying to make political points. I don't care about that stuff. And he's like, Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian collusion. What are you, one of those conspiracy theorists? And I'm like, the New York Times ran a story like a week after the election saying, oops, we were wrong. Hunter Biden's laptop is real, and everything that was reported to be on it is on it. I'm like, the New
The
York
Epstein
Times.
list is on it.
No, that wasn't reported to be on. It is objectively a real thing that it exists. All that stuff. The email saying save 10% for the big guy, which is still concerning, but whatever. That all is real. There's no question. Like no Hunter Biden is suing the guy who turned in his laptop because of the damages that he did by invading his privacy. So it's like there's no question it's all real. And 3 years after everyone knew it was real, he's like, "Oh, you're one of those conspiracy." So that's my thing. It's like I hate those people more than whatever's initially reported in the news. That is gospel. There is no
Yeah.
change. I happen to believe we did land on the moon, even though I could be convinced otherwise. But if you're not willing to think about it, like maybe I hate those people who are just like so that's the thing with the flat earthers is I like their mindset that they're open to like maybe things aren't as they seem.
Right.
But no one's been able to give me a reason why there'd be a lie about this, and when you ask them they run around like a hamster on a wheel saying retarded things that don't make sense. So it's like try again.
If that's the case, maybe it's because they know what they're saying is ridiculous. And maybe some of them are just making money from it and they want to keep the charade up because as if they keep their charade up, they make money.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's my whole thing with the green movement. It's $1 trillion industry. NASA actually came out with a study not long ago that showed that so the Earth revolves around the sun. It's not a perfect like it alters. Sometimes it's closer to the sun, sometimes it's further away. And they found that the changes in global temperature is 100% due to the revolution around the sun. The distance between the Earth and the sun
Yeah.
is what changes the Earth's temperature. That study was buried. And it's like, that's because all of these people making billions of dollars on wind farms and bullshit, uh, people who want to, it's an industry that can't die because there's so many people making money from it that we have to prepare. We have, again, it's one of those things where it's like, racism in America is over. We just elected a black man and reelected him. No, 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 no. Racism. It's like, why? Why? Because it's an industry. You
I'm
make a
sure
living
there,
on it. You have to scream about it.
well, I'm sure there are different parts of the world where racism
Oh,
is
sure.
very
Well,
much
South
there
Africa is a big problem with
for
racism.
sure. But
But
my favorite
well,
conspiracy
and
is
the
UFOs.
yeah, those I can't day you ask me day to day what I think about aliens and stuff, it's going to be a different opinion.
Do you believe there is life on other planets, even microbial life?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But do you think they've been here?
I Do you think I like this theory, but I have no evidence to support it. It just makes sense in my head. I do think there was intelligent life on this planet before the comet that killed the dinosaurs hit. I don't think there were dinosaurs. I think there was intelligent life on this planet that had the technology to leave the planet. And I like to think they come back occasionally and just give us gifts. Like with this is my home, we probably look different than them and but I that makes sense to like the ancient civilizations thing. Like so the aliens are actually earthlings. That's in my head makes sense. But I also think it's short-sighted. So I got in an argument with one of the most annoying guests I've ever had on my podcast. And his episode, he was on Rogan, and his episode of Rogan is no longer available because he was such a
Why?
asshole.
Oh,
He was just an asshole. He just and there was a little bit of that in my episode where I was talking to him about ivermectin, and I'm like, but it's boo. He's like, but it is a horse paste, and I'm like, right, but it also won a Nobel Prize because it was used to treat humans and still is used to treat humans. He's
yeah,
like, but it is still a horse paste, and I'm like, yes, I acknowledge that. Will you
yes.
acknowledge that it also is used as medication for humans? I'm not even saying it's good or bad. I'm saying you can't just say bullshit because you don't like somebody. Wouldn't
Ivermectin's
do it.
given in a hospital, I believe.
Yeah. No, and everyone who actually comes from Africa to America has to take that ivermectin. So it's definitely a human medication. It's a they call it a horse dewormer. It kills bacterial infections, I think, or something. I don't know. But I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. But anyway, it's like it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It matters that you're lying about it. And where was I going with this?
Aliens.
Oh yeah, he got in a whole thing where he insists there's no way aliens have ever visited the planet because we don't it would take us 20,000 years to get to the next galaxy that could have human life. And I'm like, well, maybe they just have better technologies. He's like, it doesn't matter. The laws of physics are the laws of physics. And I'm like, right. But do you think 100 years ago, before we had automobiles, we would believe that we had cars and planes and helicopters and all?
That would
Like,
drive themselves.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like you're like, I'm not saying the laws of physics need to change. I'm saying technology might find ways to use the laws of physics to travel faster. Like, it's such a stupid argument. Like, oh no, it's the same. It's universal. And it's like, right, but they've been a 10,000 years from now, I guarantee if we're still living on this planet and have the historical knowledge of this, if in 12,025, the year 12,025, they still acknowledge 2025 was a thing, they would look back at us like we look at cavemen. Like they
Yeah.
still wiped their own asses.
It's
What?
almost like thinking 100 years ago, what were the concerns of 1925? Like, what were they dying of? And then you look at now, and all that stuff has been erased. All that
Right.
stuff has been
Right.
gone.
So people like that just piss me off so much where it's like it's your brain is so narrow in its ability to think of possibility that it's your brain is the problem. It's not humanity. It's not and so I think that feeds off people who are constantly thinking of other alternative ideas and theories. And I think that's what breeds flat earthers. And also, I still don't know whether they're aliens. But
There could be.
well, yeah, no, I should say I am 100% confident there is alien life. out there. Whether they visited us, I don't know. Because if they can visit us, they're obviously so far ahead of us. There should be no way we've ever detected them.
Right. I would want to know, what do they want from us then? If they're visiting us so often, what do they want? They want the Epstein list.
Well, right. It does depend on. There's two things I would think. There could be if it's the same aliens, or if it's all different. Could just be, oh, we have some intelligent life. Let's just creep in real quick and see where they are in their development. Or it could be, if it's the same one, it could be like, again, I like, let's, ooh, they're struggling with this. Let's give them a gift. Let's send a formula for something down there. Like, let's just, insert it telepathically into somebody's
Yeah.
brain, and they'll invent something new that will be beneficial to their society. Um, or they could be, again, there's this all is that theory I was talking about earlier. There could be the like, I know the road that this goes, and they're gonna nuke the whole planet and destroy it. And before that happens, we're gonna intervene, so we have to keep an eye on them.
Did you ever hear the Bob Lazar Joe Rogan episode?
I've heard he's been on there multiple times, hasn't he?
No, he's been on there once. Bob
Only
Lazar,
once?
yeah,
Oh, I was thinking Graham Hancock.
he's the
Yeah,
guy
the Bob
that
Lazar was
said
he Area 51?
he said he worked at a subset of Area 51 called S4, I think, and he said he worked on they had these UFOs and they had no idea how to work them, and he was hired to back engineer and try to figure out what he could figure out about these craft. Now, that could be true. Like if you listen to him, he's very, very convincing. He is
Mm-hmm.
very believable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm, I if I had to go one way or the other, I'd probably say I believe him. I mean, there are people that are just so convincing. You're like, well, why are they lying? Like there's no reason for some people to just keep up this charade for 30 years.
Well, it could be. I see. I tend to don't think he was a lie. I do not think he's lying. But
Also, those crabs could have been crabs from other countries that we don't know, and they were just experimental.
yeah, well, so I think there's a possibility. There's one thing people always overlook is that this thing in here is the least reliable thing that exists. Your brain, your memories, lies you tell yourself. Bob Lazard's a little more than that because this was years of his life. Uh, but I also think if you tell a lie enough, eventually you believe it is the
Yeah,
truth.
yeah.
And if you get fame and notoriety by telling a lie, maybe you just keep telling it. So there's part of that. Um, but he sure didn't seem like he was lying to me.
No, his story has been so incredibly consistent over 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's not like he said, I saw these aliens, they come up to me. He said, no, I we had this craft that I tried to back engineer it and try to see how it could figure out. And we couldn't figure out how it works. And what he was describing is the same way the UFO videos in the last few years have been reportedly flying.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
if you look at some of those videos, it's exactly the same as what he was saying.
you know what's interesting with all of this is I've seen three. I've seen Clinton, Bush, and Obama, and I think Rogan asked Trump, and all. So I'm like, part of it is like maybe it's some sort of president's club where they're like, if people ask you about aliens, just be like, I'm not allowed to talk about it because that's the answer they all give, and it's like, is that like I'm in the club, so I'm gonna get this is the answer. Like you get in the Oval Office, there's a post-it note. Here's a thing when you're out of office, you can always say, I'm not allowed to talk about aliens. It'll keep us cooler than everyone else. Um, But that's a weird answer if the answer is, yeah, there's no aliens.
Yeah. Life is so it's abundantly clear that there is so much more life out there than just us. Like in terms of plants, water, microbial life,
Yeah,
different kinds of bugs.
why does the entire universe exist? How does the entire universe, the size of it, exist and not one other planet? I will say, in saying that, that might mean yes, it might just be microbial life, or it might be a planet of giraffes, that
Yeah,
intelligent giraffes. Maybe humans aren't there. Uh, maybe the giraffes learn to
you
speak
don't
English.
know. There are
Yes.
billions and billions of Earth-like planets just in the Milky Way galaxy. And just that possibility is like the endless amount of people and different kinds of life forms and different life forms at all different stages. Maybe there could be life out there that's in the caveman era. Maybe there's some life that is just right where we are, maybe even further than us. There's probably so much out there that we have no idea.
Yeah. No, it's narrow-minded to assume otherwise.
We can't be the only ones.
No, the sad thing is I doubt we'll ever know in our lives. I did have a dream, which this is where I think some of my brain goes as like an instinctual, like this comforts me kind of thing. I had a dream. It was a weird dream, and I like only remember from the middle of it, but there was an asteroid that was going to hit Earth. And for some reason, me and my kids were trying to walk home. We were in the middle of the street trying to walk home. Um, and we see the asteroid like coming down and everything. And like, I just hug the kids and look up, and I'm like, well, we're all gonna die, so it doesn't matter.
We'll,
We
we'll,
might as well enjoy the show. And right as it's like a giant triangular spaceship shows up and destroys it, disappear. The whole thing's gone. And then it's just every TV, radio, everyone can hear it. The aliens are like, "We're sorry, we had to intervene. Your species is on a good trajectory. We couldn't let you all die. Keep up the good work. We're here to save you if it's needed." And then the triangle leaves. And it was just like, huh, that's an interesting thought. That's why they're here. They're just like, yeah, we'll save them if they need to be saved.
and then the triangle comes back and they say, "So about that list."
Where's the Epstein list?
The aliens are like, "We want to see the list. We're on it too. We
The
want to
aliens
destroy it."
actually, Jeffrey Epstein was an alien, and the aliens
Yes.
did that just to blackmail Bill Clinton, Bill Gates,
Yep.
Prince Harry, whatever prince it was.
Prince
Sorry,
Andrews.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prince Harry. Uh,
Andrew Jackson, Michael, all of them, all the
yeah,
Jacksons.
all the Jacksons. Yeah, yeah, fuck them all. All right. Well, 6:26. Okay. I think it's about time to wrap this sucker up. Gary, where can unless there was anything else you desperately wanted to ask me or add?
Thank you for having me on as always. It's always fun with you. And you could find me on YouTube, type in my name. You can find me on Instagram, just type in my name. And that's all she wrote.
Gary, email me the links for those two things,
Okay,
so they don't have to type in your name. They can just click the link in the show notes
you
below.
got it.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next week. Boom, it's over.